What's up, everybody? I'm Yasmine Whitehurst, a Spring 21 graduate of the Alabama State University and former Miss ASU. And now I am a content creator, mentor, and dance business owner. So right now we are in a day and age where social media is prevalent. Everybody's on their phones, everybody's doing things virtually, and as HBCU student leaders, it is so important to understand exactly what we need to do to navigate through social media and make the best of it. By the end of this session, the goal is for all of you to understand the purpose of your social networking platforms, your social media presence and goals, how to identify with your target audience, and some new content strategies. So before we hop into the content, let's establish what we mean by social networking platforms. So a social networking platform or social media is any website or application that you may use to interact with others. And as student leaders, the ones that you probably will come across the most are Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, keep in mind that this could mean for your personal or your organization Instagram, but also know that this is going to be something that you're going to use to represent yourself and your organization. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with social media presence. What is your social media presence? That is essentially a combination of what you post, your content, when you post, so how frequent you post, and how you interact or connect with your followers. Now, these elements are very important to keep in mind because it determines who comes to your page, how they think of you or what they think of you when they get to your page, and how will they interact with you in the future. So if you're only posting once a week, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to come back to your page because they might not think that you're being active. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to what type of content you're posting and when you're posting it so that your followers can interact with you. Someone may be coming to your page for the very first time, and this is their first impression of you, your organization, or even your school. So you have to remember that presentation is key. And so then when you establish a great presence, this will then boost your visibility and then allow you to widen your audience and then have more people understand and know about what you and your organization do. Now, in order for you to establish this necessary social media presence, you're gonna have to set some goals. So let's talk about the ways that you can establish these goals with your organization. For one, you want to sit down and determine what it is that you want to gain from posting content. So for your organization, you might gather your e-board or even all of your members and sit down and say, okay, we want to gain more followers. We want more people to come to our events. We want more people to know about our organization. We want to bring more students to the campus. Whenever you decide those things, you need to sit down, write it down, and make it clear for everybody in the organization. So then once you determine your goals, you're going to want to utilize this information to create an effective posting schedule and to determine what type of content you're going to post. Now, a huge part of goal setting and establishing a good social media presence is figuring out who your target audience is. What we mean by target audience is the group of people that you are aiming to reach with your posts. Now, for some organizations and people, this might be very broad, or it might be very specific, but regardless, you have to understand who this target audience is so that you can make your content especially catered to them. Now, the way you identify this target audience is by asking yourself 3 questions. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is their demographic? How old are they? What's their classification? What's their gender? These types of questions will help you understand who that person is so that you can know how to create your content specifically for them. Number 2, what are their problems? And how do your posts solve their problems? So for instance, if you're creating a mentoring organization, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna wanna find people who need mentors. So you need to cater your posts to those people who are looking for mentors. And number 3, what do they do? Where do they hang out? What type of stuff do they like to get involved in? So every student goes to class. Well, at least you're supposed to go to class. If you know that you're going to be in class or that most students are in class during a specific time, it's probably not best to post then. If you're aiming to reach athletes or cheerleaders or band members, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be in practice after 5 o'clock. So you're gonna have to wait until that after time when they get out of practice to post things that they're going to see. So once you gather the answer to all of these questions, you're gonna have a pretty good idea of what your audience looks like and exactly what you need to do to make sure your posts are getting to them. All right, so now that you understand your social media presence, your goals, and your target audience, we can now talk about some new content strategies that you can use to improve your overall effect on social media. So number 1, you want to post eye-catching content. College students have a very short attention span, and we spend a lot of time scrolling and passing a lot of different pages and things up. So you want to make sure whatever you post, it is going to catch the eye of someone who's moving extremely fast. So that means do vibrant posts, make sure your information is short and concise, try to do different photos and videos or motion graphics, something that's going to draw attention. Number 2, use hashtags and the tagging feature. So whenever you post something, hashtags are a way for anybody to click on and find your information or find your post. So if you're going to post anything about school or any sort of event, you should probably use a very popular hashtag that your university uses. And you also want to tag as many members, students, and other organizations on campus as possible, because Instagram has a tag feature and so does Twitter. So whenever you click on one person's page, the things that they're tagged in are gonna pop up, and that in turn increases your visibility. Number 3, you want to develop a consistent posting schedule. Like I said before, when you post consistently, this allows your audience to develop a sense of trust with you. So they know that you're going to continuously post at this time on this day. So whenever they come to your events, they've already developed trust in what you do just because of the way you handle your social media. So number 4, increase your interaction. So whenever you post on social media, you want to do things that are going to bring in comments, bring in retweets, bring in posts. And not only that, you want to send them out. Whenever you interact with other people, that shows support. And then in turn, people are going to support you. Number 5, you want to track your post insights. So whenever you find this information about how many people viewed your content, how many people retweeted it or saved it or reposted it, you want to utilize this information to make your post better in the future. And number 6, you want to stay updated with all the newest features. So when you do this, you will allow yourself to appear more on your target audience's feed, and you'll be setting a new standard for how to engage with them. I'm Yasmine Whitehurst, content creator, mentor, and dance business owner. And today we talked about the purpose of your social networking platforms. We learned about social media presence and goals, identifying your target audience, and we discussed 6 new strategies for your content. If you want to connect with me, please contact me via email at Yasmine Reigns, YasmineReigns @gmail.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at Yasmine Reigns. Thank you. For more hotspots, visit us on unitehbcu.org.